Episode 112 of the Fillet podcast. I am Grant Fierro. Today we have a guest with us named Scott, and as always, Michael Medina. And we're going to talk about this week in skateboarding, including John Dillo's Florida Days part on Thrasher. Cons and Polar collaborated. This JT Alts dropped this said to be last video part in a video called Don't Feed the Birds. And what we're going to start out with is Walker Ryan's Welcome to SOVRN announcement, as well as a video part, which was released on Thrasher. Scott, you said you just watched this, so I will let you begin the discussion.
At first, I was like, oh, wow, only 2 minutes. And then, so immediately I started, counting tricks. And that's a terrible thing to do with Walker Ryan because he's, worth way more for, what he actually does. But I don't know, the first trick is a switch tray, and then 2 or 3 tricks in is a switch backside flip. And I don't know, it made me feel okay, he brought the dog out to do his tricks. And then there's all the little cut-in portrait stuff. So I don't know, at first I was kind of skeptical.
Yeah.
But it's Walker Ryan. He wins me over. And that switch flip, when he just has his feet all tweaked, I was like, God damn, he's so good.
I agree about that switch flip was incredible. Mike, thoughts?
Dude,
tricks, anything?
I think it was the announcement that we were all waiting for.
Yeah, I agree.
I had actually been asking the day or two before with my other friend, does Walker Ryan have a board sponsor yet?
Nope.
And somebody had said, we were just at the shop, and somebody was like, I saw him on an anti-hero board. So we're all rumoring, oh, he's going to be riding anti-hero boards.
That was
not quite the case.
That would be the strangest fit ever.
Hey, Brian Anderson went. Anything's possible.
Brian's fucking hash, though, bro. And he's been hash for 15 years. Walker is just he's a very substance-forward skateboarder. You know that what you're going to get is going to look excellent. It's going to be a really cool spot, and it's going to be filmed well. You know what I mean? And with Walker, I think that, again, this is totally the announcement that we were all essentially just waiting for. You know what I mean? But for them to do it the way that they did was rad because I almost expected this announcement to be in that place that Jack Fardell was announced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely didn't expect the Walker one. It kind of snuck up on us, so to speak, just because they kind of waited for it, you know?
Yeah.
The thing that I took away from the part itself is that he sets up for switch tricks so badass. The way that he sets his feet up for switch tricks just looks good. I don't know.
That's cool.
Looks awesome. One thing that me and Grant were kind of touching on before this started is he does a heel flip up a curb, or is it switch? He does a switch.
It's switch heel.
Curb, and
yeah.
Does a turnaround that is a work of art, man.
Yeah. Okay. I actually just pulled up where it is in the part. So he switches up the curb. It's at 1 minute and 49 seconds. If anyone wants to pull the video part just to watch this. But yeah, it was funny. Mike mentioned this right before we went live because generally I'm someone that I think I never want to see a revert in a line personally in a video part just because I the way I always looked at it is you could have done a trick. You could have done a half cab flip or a switch back 180 or whatever, but instead you just turned around. I just thought it was weird. But I think it was the way that it was filmed also really helped with it. That for some reason it looks so sick.
Dude, there's been a few turnarounds in lines that look awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I just think generally I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I don't know.
I guess it just feels weird to me as a skater because if I do a line, I wouldn't want to just turn around over and over in my line.
Yeah, that would probably feel really weird.
Where I never have to do that.
That is funny. I never thought about it like that.
It's you do it, you're yo, was that stylish?
Yo, that turnaround was a little weird. We gotta do it again. I didn't like my revert.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the way it was filmed. It almost looks like he just magically is going regular all of a sudden.
Yeah, my final thought on the part itself, obviously, since we're gonna talk about a part that people aren't watching right now. My final thought on it was, so what's exactly different about that switch tray than the one that J Brock did?
Well, it's not the same spot.
And also Walker Ryan. Oh yeah, that's true.
It's
I was saying,
with switch
tray is you pull them out. Is a Walker Ryan switch tray is kind of like do that. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's really good and he does them beautifully, but it's like less impressive. And I think I'm more impressed by somebody. And Justin Brock does have a good switch tray too.
His switch tray is
but
bad.
He can switch backside flipping.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that what else? There was another something that I really liked. Oh, the switch flip you guys were already talking about.
Yeah, that switch flip was so boned out, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was gnarly. I don't know. I'm
that was
glad
super
they
cool.
found a home. He rides for what, DBS?
Yeah.
That's sick. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's getting some sponsors. He's doing his thing.
I mean, I wouldn't say that either. I'm way more hyped on Walker Ryan than I am either of those companies.
I mean, he fits perfectly on SOVRN as far as like a board sponsor.
Yeah, I feel like SOVRN's a good fit for him.
I guess I kind of have to see how SOVRN goes, you know, how they kind of form as a company. But
I mean, I feel like the people
for now,
the people that are over there currently, I feel like everyone on the current SOVRN roster is who's supposed to be on the current SOVRN roster.
Yeah, I would agree.
That makes sense.
Pretty fitting with the image of the company right now.
Totally.
One thing I was thinking when I was watching this part was that I think it is kind of cool how I think when you watch a SOVRN video part, you kind of know it's theirs, and it made me think of how I said a similar thing about the numbers edits. Like they're done completely different ways, but when you watch a numbers video, it's very obvious based off the way that it's filmed and edited. And when you watch a SOVRN video, it's very obvious that it's a SOVRN video based off those things as well.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, they definitely film and edit completely different from each other. That's not really the point.
Well, and I think they both, between the two of those, though, they both really embrace HD. Whereas you get something like, we're going to talk about it later, the Nike thing, where they're taking HD footage and putting filters over it to make it look, and also the cons thing, they're filming in high 8 aesthetic, whereas SOVRN and numbers are totally embracing the full 1080 as clear as, you know, crystal clear.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. That is interesting and a good point, actually. I wasn't going to make that comparison, but I like that.
Yeah, same.
Well, now that you mentioned the Nike video, we'll just talk about that. So, Nike SB released a montage called Campaign. I believe, were they in Sweden? Where was it filmed?
Some of it was in Argentina. I don't think all of it was, though.
Yeah, well, it says Argentina in the description, so we'll go with that. But it's like 3.5 minutes long. Cawthon's in it, Corey Kennedy, Ishad. A lot of dudes you would expect. But I don't know, what you guys think about this? You guys both saw it, right?
Dude, Grant Taylor went off.
Oh, yeah, Grant Taylor. Wow, that's a good point.
He went off, man.
I always think it's cool watching Grant Taylor street skate. Not that he's like it, you know what I mean? It's like obviously he's super good at it, but it's just whenever I think of him, I think of him skating tranny.
Yep.
So it's cool to see him grind some rails and whatever.
Dude, I don't know. I think who was there was somebody on the trip that I wasn't exactly familiar with.
Yes. They posted a photo of him on Instagram today. So
the guy with the red and black Nikes. Right?
That's exactly how I remembered him too.
The dunks look like Jordan 1s. Okay,
oh yeah, he's the guy that's in the ad of the new dunks because he's probably the only person who skates them.
Vince Toes or Toez. Toz. I don't know how you say
that goes.
It's Touz. I don't know how you would. I don't know, but yeah, his name's Vince. I wasn't familiar with him either. But yeah,
seemed pretty good.
Yeah, he had some cool footage in there. I like that front feeble transfer Corey Kennedy did on there. It was like a flat bar into a bank. I always love Corey Kennedy footage. It's super.
Yeah, I feel like Nike holds like Corey Kennedy footage hostage because like we all want more of it.
Yeah,
and I know there's more than we're getting.
Yeah, dude, I would love to get a full Corey part at some point in this year.
Well, and I feel like these videos they put out, they've done it with the something north. I forget, it was like 47 north or something. Yeah. But they put like a little street edit. They go to like a town and they like film it. And to me, I'm thinking Nike, so I'm like, all right, we're gonna get the guys together. We're gonna send them there. Everybody gets a trick. Everybody gets a paycheck, and then they go home. And so, like in a way, it almost reminds me of a demo. Like they get brought in, you know, to Argentina, and Diego Bacheri even is taking them around. He's like, oh, this spot. And they like, you know, bring out their tricks and, you know, boom, boom. And then Nike puts together the video. And But it's crazy watching Ishad because he's just so good that they try to do that type of thing where they're like, yeah, everybody, you know, get your trick here. Here's a cool wall spot. They have it all lined up. But Ishad just starts nailing off tricks. That bump to bar, he's just like,
dude, that switch ollie he did in the switch
like, it's amazing.
So sick. And then there was that switch board side and switch front board on that one, like little bank to rail.
Yeah, he also had a crook pop over, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and you can just tell, and especially with the switch board sides and stuff, that he's just having fun. Like, he could have done that thing, but he was like, oh, I could probably get both of these, you know, the switch board and switch front board, so, you know, kind of both directions. And it was so sick.
Yeah, I agree. There was almost all of his tricks were switching this. I didn't really think about that till now. But I
like he pulled his ankle or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
He can switch for that reason.
That is possible. But yeah, I love that the way he kind of like shifted and tweaked his feet on that switch ollie over that bump to bar looks so sick.
Who was the MVP?
Yeah, I rewatched it right after to think about that.
The MVP?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's yours, Grant.
No, Corey.
CK? Yeah.
Dude, he
I
wins.
see that.
That dude is a freak, man.
Oh, Kevin Turpning was in there as well.
Oh, that's the one I wasn't familiar with, I'm assuming.
No, I'm pretty sure you weren't familiar with the guy Vince.
Okay.
Yeah, because he has the newest ad in the newest mag, and because I've joked about those new dunks, the high tops that like have the ankle wrap thing.
Ew.
I've kind of joked that nobody's gonna wear them, and then he has an ad in the mag wearing them. So I was like, oh damn, that's how he got on the team, is he agreed to wear the ugly Nikes.
Yeah, those things are awful.
It's him and Kevin are the guys in the ads for him, and they're both in this edit wearing them.
Oh, those things are gross.
Oh, Kevin's wearing them too in the ads? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Kevin has the ad for like a different colorway of it. It's like blue and black, maybe.
Ew.
I really like that ollie out to backside wall ride Corey Kennedy does. It's like in that bump flat down 3.
Super good. You talking about the ender of the edit?
Yep.
Holy shit, is that a
that was sad. I know, Mike, I actually thought of you because when we were getting all psyched on that one Warren Midler did in his SOVRN part.
I still think the Midler one is like my favorite one of the year so far.
I'm still stuck on Davis's war ride.
Yeah, all 4 wheels.
That was so tight. Oh, this dude Vince has a really sick one in this Nike edit as well. Like, it's like over a flat bar, and it's weird to explain, but it's pretty gnarly. Yeah, I had no idea this was even coming out. It was just kind of out of nowhere. And I was honestly a little. They've put stuff out on Thrasher before, but for whatever reason, I'm always a little surprised when they release it on Thrasher, because I feel like they could just release it on their own and probably get the same amount of views.
I mean, I don't know about the same.
I don't think they get the same amount of views. I think Thrasher probably has a bigger audience than if they tried to release it.
Yeah, I bet. I think you're right. You're right. I think Nike would probably have to push it harder if it was out on their own. Yeah. But it just seems like a lot of their stuff they do put out on their own, and then like they're pretty picky with what they do release on Thrasher. So I don't know. I would like to know like maybe how they're choosing what they're going to put out on Thrasher versus their own platforms. Because I mean, the video parts, like the those like Dunk Elite parts or whatever, where they had like Sean Malto, the Theotis one ended up on Transworld.
Yep.
The Malto one was through Nike.
Yeah.
The guy Oscar, his was on Nike. So I don't know. Maybe just trying to get stuff on all the different media channels.
Part after the.
What was that?
I'll probably watch that Malto part after this, honestly.
I enjoyed that
that's
part.
A really good Malto. That front crook is the sickest.
Legendary.
I love Malto switch flips.
I like Malto footage in general, man.
It's good.
Yeah, and after him being hurt for a while, it was like, oh, a full part.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
sick,
I remember when that Malto part came out, everyone lost their shit. They were just like, oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah, that was sick. Because, I mean, he'd been putting some sick stuff on Instagram, but I think people were maybe just not even really aware that he was all the way back skating.
I was gonna say, we hadn't gotten like a full video part since he fucking up.
Yeah, and he got super broke off for a while. Well, moving along. Well, you know what? Let's talk about Bobby Warist. After talking about switch skating and then looking at the topic list, I had to mention it.
Dude, Bobby for being like a.
You're gonna go for Bobby Warist over D'Lo? Talking about switch skating.
Oh yeah, good point. We'll get into that. What was that, Mike?
I said for Bobby being such like a OG legend, like doesn't really have to do shit if he doesn't feel like it. we get a good amount of Bobby Ward's.
He puts stuff out for sure.
I love it, dude. I love it. That tray flip, what?
Dude, I seriously, I think has my favorite tray flips. It's at least like top 3.
What's the name of the video? Riddles and Mathematics?
Yeah, riddles and mathematics.
Yeah.
I don't know why I think that sounds so cool, but I love it.
I like it.
It is kind of a fun little turn of phrase.
Yeah, it sounds sick.
Yeah,
like a good album name if you were like a hardcore band or something.
That's funny. Mike, what'd you think of the filming in the VX1000?
I mean, at this point, man, I obviously prefer HD. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that the VX thing, the VX fad, so to speak, it's kind of just not going anywhere. You know?
Okay. But I mean, even in general, whether you're a fan or not a fan of VX1000 footage, I think the filmer Chris Thiessen has like a super distinct style, the way he films a lot of footage.
Yeah, like you think about the difference of that between like the only one that comes one that comes to mind here is like the Fuck This video. That's like a local one here. Like they're not like the angles aren't so sharp, and it's like not. Exactly. I mean, the riddles and mathematics, half of the clip is shoe.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, wait, where's the spot? And it's like almost hard to watch because, you know, I want to be able to take it in. I want to be able to see the cool spots, see the tricks. And I'm just getting like foot from like 2 inches high.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's times where I like think, oh, that looked really cool the way it was filmed. But then there's other times where I would agree with you where it's almost like I think it's in a sense like taking away from the skating because I can't really tell what the spot is and how hard it probably is to skate. I don't know, because I think it can kind of be taken both ways, because I think there is clips that of VX1000 and filmed with that super sharp style, like it can almost make like a super throwaway line for someone turn into a clip because it looks cool on the camera maybe. But then it can also take something else and I think downplay the gnarliness of it because it's so focused on the filming.
Well, I think Josh Stewart, who did like I'm going to say it wrong because it's not the static videos, but Series of Atlantis guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's, he kind of pioneered that with like the getting really close, bringing the VX like up and kind of taking you as the viewer on a journey behind the lens of seeing a trick.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And a lot of people have picked that up, but I think Chris Thiessen has just done it to the extreme, and he doesn't know when to pull back and to let cool spots, and in this case, great skateboarders. Bobby Warist, I mean, he filmed some amazing skateboarders, and he ruined their footage by making it almost unwatchable.
So you're not a fan of it at all, of the filming?
At all. I mean, I have the video on DVD, and I haven't made it all the way through. By the time I get a little bit in, I just am like, I got to watch something else if I'm going to be hyped to go skating, because it's not even watchable.
Wow. Interesting.
And I felt the same way about the one before it, the Substance one.
Yeah, Substance.
And then it's like, it's hard to watch. I'm glad he's gone. I mean, no hate against the guy as a person, but like, I'm excited for Transworld videos again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're not a fan of it, you're going to be looking forward to a different filmer and hopefully, obviously a different product.
I completely agree with the whole mixing up of the Transworld videos coming back, or not coming back, but
possible. Nah, call it a comeback.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, shit. But as far as them getting or going to have a different look, I'm actually pretty excited about that as well, man.
Mike, is this the only part you've seen from Riddles and Mathematics?
Yes.
Okay, so
where's everyone else's shit?
I know they posted CV Perez's part on the Transworld site.
Yeah, there's a few others.
And I know they posted Yage's part.
Oh, really?
They haven't put out Bob DeKaiser's, I don't think.
That's what I'm waiting for.
So I mean, yeah, you can wait and see that because obviously it's going to be
by
perspective. What was that?
Is this one that doesn't Davis have a part in this? Too?
Bobby DeKaiser's is actually filmed by. I don't think not in this one.
Oh, okay.
No, Davis was in Substance.
Oh yeah.
But Bobby DeKaiser's is filmed by somebody else because he was up in So it's like not nearly as jerky, which is good because he's, other than Bobby Warris, he's my favorite in it. I joke about that video and say that the Bobbies are the
It's tough. Yeah, I know. I felt the same way, especially because I was able to go to the premiere, and I was like, well, it's funny. I'm just looking forward to the Bobby's parts the most. I really do like Stevie Prez's skating, though. I really like his part in the flare. I don't, honestly, I should watch his Riddles part again, because I've only watched it the one time that I watched the whole video through.
I know, I should too, before I talk too much about it.
Yeah. But I was unaware of that the Kaiser's part was filmed by someone else. So that's cool.
Hey, Scott, what's your favorite Transworld part to date?
Favorite Transworld part to date? Wow. Probably Chris Cole and In Bloom.
Yeah, mine's In Bloom for sure.
Really? Oh, that's by far my favorite Transworld.
I was just curious because you said that you were a fan of Transworld videos, and I mean, growing up, like Transworld videos were way more impactful than they are now. That's for damn sure. Yeah,
that's why when you were saying a comeback, I'm like, yeah, people don't even know anymore. It's like even the ones that were still HD, like the one with Theo. I don't know. The last like 5 or 6 Transworld videos have just not been anything really.
I know, it's kind of funny too because now there's a phrase that's not going anywhere, and it's Thrasher part. It's no longer online part. It's no longer solo part. It's no longer the shit that it used to get called when it was the first happening thing. Now it's literally just so-and-so's Thrasher part.
Even if it's like a part for somebody else that Thrasher posted, like it's like getting posted on Thrasher is like
it's their Thrasher part. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Thrasher has definitely taken over that section of media and of how skateboarding is being released for sure.
Well, the only thing that's negative about that is like, okay, just as an example, the John Dillo part is on our list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I didn't watch it right when it dropped, right? So I had to go back I don't know, maybe the next day or a day after or 2 days later or something and look for it.
And there's a bunch of stuff before it.
Fucking buried.
Well, the thing that I would interested about is that John Dillo's part, this new one, it's called Florida Days, which we'll just get into here in a minute. But that got posted on Thrasher's website, but they still haven't put it on their YouTube channel. Where a lot of the parts,
buried, dude. Their editors didn't even see it.
Yeah. Well, actually, about that, the website's curator, whoever, I don't know who does it, but actually picks out pretty good videos. So if you go to the Thrasher website right now, that Dilo part is the 4th video on like the ones that they have selected. So they have the campaign video as like their #1 featured in the big section. And so they're actually, someone's picking better content over the trash that gets posted in the junk drawer.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where are you saying you're on the Thrasher site?
Just on the homepage, just
okay.
Plain home. So there's junk drawer that has all the lists of the videos, and then to the side of that, there's typically, the main featured, but there's also other featured, and in that is Delo's is still up there. Okay. So when you're designing one page, you have to pick like which do we feature here, and so someone has chosen that video, and the other video is up there as this is content that we think is better.
Yeah.
I back that. I can't like that's kind of what Corey White does at the barracks, right?
Interesting. Yeah, but I was wondering why his didn't get onto the Thrasher YouTube, just onto the website, because I don't know, for some reason myself whenever I watch a video part that's released online, I'll watch it and obviously like think and feel however I think and feel about it, but I always read the comments just kind of to get a feel of what everyone else is thinking.
Oh God, I'd never read comments.
Yeah, I know you always say that. I always do.
I always read them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's entertaining. Other times I just want to know, like, I know how I feel, and I'm interested in how everyone else feels about the skater or the editing or the filming, whatever. So it's kind of a bummer to me that his isn't on there, because it's kind of just easier to access on YouTube as well. But also just I like to see what everyone else is thinking about his footage.
About his footage in specific, or just in general?
No, I mean in any video part, but I'm just talking about his because it's not on the YouTube.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and I always glance at them after I watch a video part, the comment section, to see what other people feel like about it. But
conspiracy theorists will say it's because he doesn't have any sponsors. I guess he has like venture, but that wasn't like a Nike video or an Adidas video.
Shit, that'd be right at the
it was actually a Florida Days part, which is like a homie T-shirt hat thing from Florida.
Oh, really? I'm looking at that right now.
But yeah, you are right that he's definitely getting hooked up by people, Adidas, Spitfire Venture, Shake Junt, but he isn't. He doesn't have a board sponsor. He's not on a board company at the moment.
That's crazy.
Or being promoted by Adidas. But yeah, so
let's a lot though, dude, to actually get Adidas to like promote you.
Oh no, definitely.
Unless you're easy to sell. There's a lot of, this is gonna sound really sexist, but I feel like there's a lot of females that get stuff from Adidas, and a lot of guys too, actually, that are just skating more because they're like good looking and they look good in Adidas, and they'll post pictures of themselves on Instagram in Adidas. More so than that they're skating.
Or like Nora being all super hot and doing really good backsmiths.
Yeah, I love her. God, I love those backsmiths. Yeah. But they sell Adidas, and Adidas knows that sells Adidas.
She fucking nails that back and that backside air, dude. Like, give her the Adidas.
Kickflip back disaster. Kickflip back lift.
Flip back D's.
Oh yeah, Nora's a beast.
Nobody can make that trick look good the way she does.
Really. Other than like. I'm trying to think of what other female skater other than like Leticia and Lacey are really getting like Adidas and Nike.
Well, those are like the ones that are like on like the big program, but like as far as like small sponsors, but that makes me think that it's not even really just girls. It's kind of like Instagram. Like you can get sponsored by Instagram. Like if you post enough stuff of your Adidas stuff and you sell Adidas, sweet, we'll hook it up. And yeah, I've never even really thought about that.
Maybe I'll just start posting 3-stripe stuff all the time.
Let's get it.
Dillo reps it pretty hard. I hope that they bump him up the ranks in the near future. He's put out an incredible amount of footage in a very short period of time. It was less than 2 months ago he released his other Thrasher web part called Red Shore, and then he had footage in the Shake Junt Flavor Country edit.
That was the shit.
And then now he's on his another Thrasher solo part. Last summer, so about a year ago, it's literally like an 8.5 minute video of different crazy manual tricks. It's called the Summer of Manuals. So it was on the barracks. So it's consistently putting footage out. So I don't know. He's definitely out there. I really enjoy his skating in general, and I think I enjoyed this Florida Days part more than the Red Shore one.
I certainly watched it more. Normally, there's so much footage that gets out. I kind of like latch on to one thing like each week.
Me too.
Like, pick this is what I'm going to rewatch before I go to the skate park, and this is what I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been my part this week. And switch skating and doing it like that. That switch flip nose grind is like.
Yeah,
that's gnarly. That's a hard trick, man.
I think just the way he does his flip tricks looks so cool. Like it's just so much flick and power behind him. Like every flip trick is done so well. Very much so in control. I really like this clip in particular. It's the ledge, and then it's a switch tail slide drop to nose manny, and then nollie flips off the drop. That clip looks super rad. That nollie flip he does over that rail is seriously like one of the most boned out nollie flips.
And it's straight over. There's something about going straight. You can nollie flip to the side, and it's one thing. But going straight over something, it's just insane.
Yeah, it is incredible. Yeah, you have to have that trick done super well to be able to do that. Mike, any other or Scott, any other standout tricks?
It's pretty crazy. He did the fake
heel, fakey manny.
Yeah, a fake heel, fakey man. Think about that. We got that in the same week that we got nollie, hard flip, nose manual.
Yeah, there was some heavy stuff on the stage.
The stage just got shut down for like the 100th time.
So let's have a little talk about the stage, because I feel like fake heel, fakey manny is honestly one of the craziest tricks to ever go down on it.
Oh my god, yeah.
But so like this is what I'm thinking about is that fakey tray, fakey manny, obviously by Kelly Hart, crazy. Don't get me wrong, that is unbelievable.
I think that's the best trick ever done there, personally.
I think fakey heel, fakey manny is gnarlier.
No fucking way.
I think less people.
It has to be so calculated, it's not even funny.
I think less people could do fake heel, fakey manny than fakey tray, fakey manny.
Dude,
Yeah, I think fakey heel, getting that up there is ridiculous.
I think that question is fucking entirely irrelevant.
No, we're gonna bring some science into this because when you fakey tray up something, yeah, you can like wrap a fakey tray up the stage, like it goes upside down and it kind of wraps into it. Exactly. If you're fakey heeling up the stage, there's no faking that. You
have to get
you got to blast off, right? But some people got that pop.
But a fakey tray is easier up something than a fakey heel is.
See, I fakey heel all the time, and I'm gonna totally disagree with you on that one.
No, I get it, and I'm not saying for me, but I'm trying to say, obviously this is subjective. It's skateboarding.
Yeah, but it's entirely subjective.
But I'm just saying, like what Scott is saying about the way the board is flipping.
I get what you're saying.
I would say for most people, it's harder to fakey heel up that than fakey tray.
But so if we're going with that as far as what's difficult, 360 flip nose manual from Nick Tucker is insane. To regular 360 flip up like that. I don't care about what he did out. You know, both of the tricks out were whatever. He could have not done that. It was more getting into it.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is more difficult than either fakey heel or fakey tray.
Yeah, I would say tray flip nose manual is probably... Again, this is such a weird conversation because they're all crazy and it's all up to every skateboarder's different, whatever. But I would say tray flip nose manual is crazier than fakey tray fakey manual, I guess. Because, I mean, tray flipping up that thing makes... your board is flying straight at the obstacle that you're going up. Directly into it on a tray flip.
I want to watch it again and look at how
so early and pop it so high. That is crazy.
Let's get him on sports science.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Oh shit!
Sports science.
Even with all those tricks, though, my favorite is still switchback 180 nose manual, Stevie Williams. Like that's
dude. The way Stevie did it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's exactly why.
God damn, dude, he made.
You know, you can do all these crazy tricks, but he just 180'd, and then he was just in nose manual. And
dude,
beautiful.
He just looks cooler than everyone else. That's what it is. We all know that.
Yeah. And there's like a moment when you can see that, I mean, he's done the switch 180 and he's in the nose manual, and you can tell that like his brain is switching from switch to regular.
Dude, Stevie Williams' switch heel, switch manual is like one of my favorite things ever. And then he turns around all super awesome. Oh, fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah, turning around in line.
Switch back 180 nose manny is so gnarly.
Yeah, that's
so tight. Even on like a curb, I've played around with that one and had to like turn around. I know, so to get all the way up on the stage.
James Espinoza did back 180 fakey manny, fakey tray.
That's always one of the dudes I always thought was
crazy
underrated.
Who?
Espinoza.
James, yeah, he's so good at skating. It's crazy.
Yeah, just like stupid.
I mean, both those tricks, like the back 180 fakey manny or switch back 180 nose manny, it's obviously like the mirrored whatever. It's same thing basically, but regular and switch. It seems like that would be so hard to like have your shoulders, like stop your shoulders from turning, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, and you see June skate all the time, Grant. So like, he always does the back 180 fakey manual, but he doesn't correct his shoulders. He just keeps spinning, and he literally keeps spinning. He'll go forever.
Yeah.
But so Stevie Williams, you know, turns around and he doesn't keep spinning. He straightens his shoulders and corrects and is going straight.
Yeah, that's crazy. The fact that he could hold his shoulders like that is crazy. It's funny they mentioned June because now that we're talking about this stage, I was actually just thinking about his trick. Mike, I didn't put this on the topic list, but did you see Jun Sato at a Transworld part a couple, like 2 weeks ago?
No, jeez.
Okay, let me send it to you.
How many parts did he drop this year? Like 3?
Because we can talk about that. But he did on the stage, he did manual, backside revert to fakie manual, fakie big flip to manual.
Yeah, what you just said.
Yeah, you'd have to watch it. It is the craziest. I don't know how he did it, and he does it perfect.
He's definitely in the elite level
of manuals.
Of manualers.
Completely. Completely. I mean, when Day One Song's commenting on your manual tricks on Instagram.
And, like, is stoked as fuck up.
That means you've killed it on manuals for sure.
That's for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So Simon Bannerot had his extra flare was released.
Damn, man, that was the longest shit too. It was like 15 minutes.
Dude, it was long. Yeah, it was. I was texting you about that last night, Mike. I was like, I kept kind of ignoring starting it because I was like, I don't know if I want to watch that long of one video. But dude, once I started, I did not want to pause it or look away or anything. It was heavy.
Did you watch the whole thing?
So you've seen the flare?
I have.
Is that bonus stuff like stuff from his part, or is it all new?
No, it's like the raw footage of his part.
Okay. Because I haven't seen the flare yet, and so I watched that, and I was like, "Dang! If this is just like the throwaway stuff,
no,
his part's gonna be
a lot.
Insane."
No, it's in there. That's just like the raw. It's like if someone put out a Thrasher part, and then it was like the raw files or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thrasher part.
I mean, yeah, good point, Mike. Dude, it is gnarly. He kills rails. I think my favorite thing to watch in that was the back three on that double set where he would throw his board into that bank to get the speed.
Oh, yeah. It just looked fun.
It did, but the 2 or 3 times where he threw down and his truck like grabbed and started grinding the edge looked so scary. Because his body was already ready to pump down that for the 360, and he almost just flew down the set without his board. But that was sick because he did that one back three that was very good. It was like the most minor. His shoulders kind of turned a little weird, I guess, like maybe a barely tic-tac on the rollaway. But then he went back to the absolute perfect.
I watched it to make sure that it was really redoing it because I was like, wait, why did they put that in twice? Because they were just both.
Because the first one was completely usable. I was so surprised when I showed him run up there again, and then he stomped the second one so good. So good. But yeah, I don't know. He definitely skates some gnarly rails in that thing.
He has another one. I think that I remember the slam more than the actual trick, but he like fakey 50s this rail next to a wall, and the slam he like misses the pop and just like jumps down it. Yeah, that's so gnarly. That thing is just like.
Yeah, that rail's in downtown LA. I've seen it. It's super awkward with the way that wall is. I can't imagine because he's goofy, so he's grinding with his face at the wall. It would be super weird to do.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Mike, did you watch his extra flare footage?
Like half of it.
Yeah, okay.
What time for that?
Any standouts, or what's your thoughts on the half that you watched?
The thing that I took away from him in general, because I'm gonna be totally honest, I didn't even know who the hell he was. Brian.
That was my next question.
Nothing. I had never heard of him before. So what I take away from him is that he skates big ass rails and he does them like not with the boxed in square. Thank God I just made my fucking life is still existing kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
It's like more of like I've been here before, bitch. Here's a backsmith. You know what?
Dude, yes, I think that he's definitely skates a ton of big rails, and that's kind of the majority of his footage is like big rails or stairs.
I gotta add this. Like, I feel like there's 2 different ways to describe what I just described as far as like the boxed in, I'm almost about to die kind of style as far as rails, because sometimes that looks badass.
Yeah.
Jamie Foy?
Okay.
Yeah. But then again, there's fucking him and like Ducky. I feel like he's smooth as hell on long rails too.
But wait, what are you saying about Jamie that he looks
like he may eat shit and he may die, but when he makes the trick, it's just like you're super hyped for him and like, damn, that looks badass.
You know what's okay? I see what you're saying, and I think that makes me think of the it's that super long back 50 in his what was it, the next new wave part where at the end he gaps over the sidewalk. And when he pops out, his feet completely shift forward on his board. That is the craziest 50. And it's like, there's right before that, they show that awkward bail where he tries to like get his leg over the rail when he's already fallen pretty much.
Yeah.
It just looks so funny. But yeah, I mean, Jamie definitely kills rails for sure.
And he does it with
I think of all of those kids as kind of like a generation that like confront feeble. That's how I think of it, is that they
from
feeble. And that's what the Simon guy, he can front feeble like that. I don't know how they do it.
And his front
it's like
strong.
It's like when they ollie when they're about to get into it. It's like their front foot shifts back and it like dips it in there, and their
Front
feet are
people-
super close together.
For me, I still think Miles has the fucking best front feet skateboarding.
Dude, he's got a sick one. Or Kenny Anderson on ledges.
Kenny's is tight. Different
trick.
Zion's is great.
It's a completely different way to do it, but I love the way his look on ledges.
You just love Kenny, dude.
I mean, who doesn't?
Kenny could do like a flat ground ollie, and Grant would somehow be like, "I just love the way he does it."
Dude, he had like an ad doing it was like a sequence of a back 180 on flat. Like there's not many people that could pull that off.
A sequence of a back 180 on flat.
Dude, I'll show you.
That sounds ridiculous.
No, it looks sick.
Of course it does.
And I wasn't the only one thinking it looked sick. Dude, Kenny Anderson's style is too good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So smooth.
I still remember him being on audio and having like a totally different steez.
Yeah, it is funny.
It was still there.
I just found it.
It was still there.
No, I
excited
meant like not like his style.
Like fit?
Like yeah, his fit.
His outfits.
Yeah.
Okay,
Those
look,
shoes, like I used to skate the shit out of those shoes.
I'm pretty sure Chocolate originally posted it, and it says another Kenny Anderson signature move. It's probably kind of hard to see, but it's like a sequence of him doing a back 180.
On flat.
Yep.
How sick does that look?
That is sick.
What is that an ad
Like-
for?
I don't think it was actually used in a mag, but I think Chocolate made it and posted it.
Okay.
Like someone shot it for them or whatever. But it looks super cool. Oh. Well, we're just talking about Simon, but I think we kind of got through that.
Yeah, I hope he has a good attitude, because there's also like Manchild, who is like a new kind of guy that I had never really heard of around the same time. And from everything I've seen of Manchild, he seems like an annoying, obnoxious, drunk skateboarder.
He's though, dude. I'm trying to hang out with Manchild.
I mean, if that's what you're into, but like I'm hoping that because Girl and Chocolate Ams are kind of like that, and I'm not really into that type of skater that's just
Maybe he's just
obnoxious.
he's just a trunk boy in training, man.
Trunk boy. I mean, I think Manchild is, going crazy on the whole 9 Club episode definitely kind of put that, mainly
Yeah,
put that out there.
Bro, it's his first part, man. Let him rip.
Yeah, I mean, he's at a video premiere. You're not going to, obviously, he's going to be
Jesus
fired up.
Christ, you guys have ever been to a video premiere? Like, fuck.
Oh, I'm
man.
not saying I'm surprised. I'm saying that's what created people to maybe think, like,
tell you right
Scott
now,
is probably basing that off of at least somewhat of how he acted in the 9 Club premiere.
Totally.
But
yeah, that's all I had heard of him.
Premieres are a special day. Premieres are.
Oh, completely.
You know?
Completely.
And it's like, I'll tell you right now, I was in rare form when Away Days was in Chicago.
Oh, that's funny. Rare form. Dude, Simon actually wanted to mention this before we move on. Simon took some gnarly slams.
Oh God, yeah, that's
like there was slams in there where I did not expect him to try the trick.
He seems like a really nice kid, man.
Yeah,
I know it's funny comparing him to Manchild because they seem totally different.
Yeah, but the Manchild, obviously because they're filming for the same video, they were together a ton in those footage.
Yeah, and honestly, I got kind of a sneak peek at Manchild because he was on the Stay Flared Chicago stop, and he was the only one that I didn't recognize. Therefore, I needed to know who he was, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was. This is like he was still flow, like he wasn't on shit yet. You know what I mean? So, dude, his demeanor in person was like he was really timid. He was not like timid, but like he was still like the new guy. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. To add on to that, I actually had a conversation with him, or was like in the same conversation as him at Agenda a few weeks ago, and he was like super nice, like not necessarily laid back, but he wasn't like crazy attention seeking, and I think that's kind of like almost what it came off as on the 9 Club thing.
Dude, Whiskey will do.
Yeah, I hope I'm proved wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. He was like a
because his skating is sick,
really
and I
nice
hate when people that rip have bad attitudes. So
yeah, I don't think
everybody that rips is good.
A bad attitude. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
dude,
we've just barely starting to see all these dudes' footage and personality kind of get out there because of this Stay Flared video, and I'm sure we're going to see a ton more. Obviously, because they're young and on their way up right now. But moving along, let's talk about. Did you guys watch JT Alt's?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yes,
what is said to be his last video part?
You think it's gonna be his last?
Oh wait,
video?
who said that?
I believe it was like in the caption that Transworld posted about it. I'll pull it up,
Okay.
or maybe in the description.
I don't understand. I mean, like, why announce that it's your last video part?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect this one.
Right?
I don't know. I mean,
Is he still on Real?
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I mean, they posted about his part.
Do they still have? Do they still press his board?
I don't think he's had boards in a while.
Okay.
But
Yeah, dude. That's
I don't know. I mean, I believe he got hurt, and he's a little bit older. Like, I'm not surprised that's his last part.
I'm not gonna lie. I totally forgot he was even like skating.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I
the
did
only
it
reason
because I
remember
see him
is 'cause
around.
San Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But from your perspective, Mike, that does make sense. That you
Shit.
kind of just haven't thought about him in a while.
Dude, I'm too hyped on Zion.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where it actually said that it's his last video part. I think because Gary mentioned it in, but that's not where I saw it originally. But it's definitely somewhere it says that because Gary mentioned it in Skate Line today as well.
Forgot to watch Gary again, dude.
You got what?
Forgot to watch Gary.
Oh, yeah, it's enjoyable. It's funny. You laugh probably.
He's the best. Dude, he's literally the best at what he does by far.
Yeah. I mean,
What, skate line?
I don't think that
Talking-
many other
no,
people
no.
could get to where he is.
I think that what he's good at is talking shit about skating.
I feel bad that he has to like actually be a skateboarder and like, you know, enjoy skateboarding and go out and skate. Like, you know, he talks all this shit and then he has to actually be a fan still at the same time, and that's like weird personality difference and stuff.
Yeah, but his shit talking is from a totally different place.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He's not shit talking in a sense that, like, yeah, this guy fucking sucks. Like, get him out of here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's kind of hunting for something to say.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he finds his something and it becomes super funny.
Dude, the fucking Nija throat tat was hilarious.
Throat tat. I love how whenever Suchu comes up, just how hyped Gary gets.
I mean, dude, I understand. I'm the same way about a lot of different dudes.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has their dudes that they're
Lucas, that's how
gonna love no matter what. I just love kind of like give like Suchu could do something that Gary would hate on someone else for, and Gary will just like give him a funny little pass and talk about it.
Who was he referring to as like mini Suchu? Who was it again?
There was some clip where someone was doing skating with super quick feet. It was something like that.
He's like, you not Suchu, but you close.
Dude, it was Niels Bennett.
Yeah, yes, you're totally right.
Yeah, that dude Niels Bennett from that Venture part that he put out.
Yeah, that's still a badass.
Oh yeah.
That part is sick. That switch backside wall ride he does.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Okay, well, before we forget, let's talk about JT's footage. I think for me, one thing I really liked was, I think of nose manuals a lot when I think of JT Alts because he's had some crazy ones over the years. And my friend Mike Peck also made like a montage that he put on Instagram of like some of his favorite JT Alts nose manuals. And some of them are so sick. And there was definitely some in this part. He does like that nose manual and drops in a nose blunt slide. Like pops into the bank, and then they put that table I think on another table, so it's like pretty steep going up, and he knows Manny that was super sick. And then
ollie over like nose blunt nose Manny.
What was that?
It was like on the metal grate thing. He like goes up and like kickflips into like a backside nose Manny.
Yeah,
that one was really sick too.
That one. And
a lot of those ones, it seems like he's like at spots, and like the one manual and then into nose blunt. That's like at a spot with like a flyout over dirt gap. So it seems like he was like at a lot of sick spots and just doing nose manuals and doing cool creative nose manuals that turned into amazing things. And that type of like fun, it comes across in the park. Like you could tell that he was just like skating at like local spots and just like, dude, wonder if I could do this.
Wait, so Scott, is that the spot that in the intro it shows him like attempting a backside flip? I don't know if it shows the make.
It's
like a bump over dirt gap. It's like asphalt.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think maybe it's at the same spot. That's funny. And then there's that one in downtown. It was actually in the Friends section of the Mafia video last year too, I believe, where it said super steep bank with a pillar, and he goes backside, knows man, he's around the pillar. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That bank is super steep. But I think to me, like the craziest trick in there is that was it the ender? It probably was that ollie over to nose blunt slide on that skinny hubba.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't the ender. Oh wait, maybe it was.
It
You know
was.
what I'm talking about? Yeah, it was the ender, huh? That was just gnarly.
Well, and right before that was the massive crooked grind, and I was like, where did these tricks come from? Were these like left over from like Osiris days? Like,
dude, yeah, those two clips were just buck.
Osiris.
That ollie over nose slide is such a cool looking trick. It's not one you see much either. I always think.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is random as fuck, and I feel like it's probably like the third or fourth time we've talked about him on this one episode. Did you guys see Jamie Ford kickflip Bindi that mini mega?
Yeah, Woodward.
Yeah.
Holy hell, dude. That's gnarly.
That is super random.
Have you seen him like kickflip a spine before? Like there's like a step up spine.
Yeah,
Woodward, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and he kickflips like from straight to straight. I mean, the dude's amazing.
It's like this boned out.
It literally flips 90 degrees like on its axis.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, man.
That looks so cool.
I'm sorry, I was totally just scrolling Instagram and I saw it and I wanted to talk about it and I was like,
no, that's cool that you bring that up.
That's rad, man. That's a cool one.
Yeah, I think whoever runs it was Flip Skateboards commented on it. Someone that reposted, maybe it was, I think Metro reposted Jamie's kickflip grab over the mini mega or whatever, and they commented like, I don't think people realize how crazy this is, and then someone else was like, isn't this man a street skater?
Didn't he used to get flip boards, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, he did.
For sure.
Okay.
He used to get girl boards before that.
I remember Flip and then Baker and then Death Wish.
Yeah, Flip was before. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the sequence. I mean, obviously
Baker.
Baker.
Would have been cool as shit him on Flip. Damn. I still like him on Death Wish a lot though.
I was surprised at first with him on Death Wish.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason at first I thought it was not necessarily weird, but I didn't
Rail
see it
chomper,
come.
man.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm cool with it. I have no problem with it, but
yeah, I already told you the universe is fine. We got to change
because he has a board.
Yeah,
that's funny. Okay, I think we're. Oh, Mike, here's something you noticed. More
what,
like
El Toro?
News based.
El Torito?
Sure, go into that since you said it now.
Dude, that's my favorite thing. What the fuck? How big do you think it is?
I don't know. I mean,
it's probably loading dock high. They probably built it off a loading dock.
Yeah, totally. But how many stairs? With like a 10 stair, probably.
Like the equivalent of probably, yeah. I mean, the way they were skating it, probably, yeah.
Dude, that's so sick, El Torito.
That was pretty funny, dude.
I absolutely love it. Dude.
Do you guys ever remember they did a mini Rincon? I can't remember who did it, but they built like the little gap to rail and everything, but it was like smaller, and everybody murdered it.
I think that's cool as hell.
Yeah, it is cool to like kind of remake a spot, but way more skatable and see stuff go down.
That name.
I like that.
Fucking hilarious, Mini El Toro.
El Torito.
That's so
It's
funny.
just the name.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
On that.
I'm pretty sure Street League did kind of a replica of Rincon once.
Did they film? Did they film like an edit there or something? Because I didn't see shit.
It was a grand opening for a CCS in Portland.
Oh, that's so sick. I love it. Oh, I guess that's why Gravette was so stoked on it.
Yeah.
He's like from up
That
there.
would make sense. Yeah. And he probably rides for CCS.
He does ride for CCS for sure. I know that, but it makes more sense that he'd be stoked that it's in like his home state, you know?
I know Ducky was up there skating.
Yeah, Ducky.
He's on CCS.
Have you got the ad? His CCS ad?
Oh, is that Feeble?
Yeah.
Dude, it is gnarly.
Dude,
That Feeble's insane,
so
but the ad's so annoying because it's like it's just his butt up, and so like my computer usually like freezes on that part as it loads everything, so it's just like Ducky butt.
Oh,
and then he runs off and does the trick.
Like for CCS pants?
Yeah, because it's for CCS jeans. And I'm like, I get annoyed with the ads on the videos like really quick, but that one, like instantly, I was like, I could not handle Ducky's ass in my face every time.
So funny.
Dude, wait, Mike, you said you haven't seen it?
Nah, dude.
Where does that play? Is it on Transworld?
Yeah, I think I've been seeing it on Transworld a lot.
It is
Yeah,
a
man,
gnarly
I'm an
Feeble.
Eclipse guy.
It is a crazy feeble grind.
Dude, all I know is that they just need to say fuck it and bring back the Kyle Waffle Cup shoe.
I knew that was coming. That's your favorite internet ad.
It was every single time it was showing on, like it pops up before video. Oh, fuck yeah, Kyle, that was sick.
I just like how the dude was called Crispy.
Yeah, for sure.
That was my favorite part. What does he say? He's like, "Thanks, Crispy."
Yeah, that's just so
So
funny.
funny. Mike, well, what I was originally going to bring up was the you got a notification you showed me that the Skateboard Mag's Facebook page was changed to the Barracks. The name of it was changed to the Barracks. I don't know. Have you heard anything else about this, Mike, since you noticed it? Mike?
I guess he...
Hey, Mike's not responding, so I don't know what's going on.
Dude, that's the third time that Google Hangouts has kicked me out today.
Oh, well, you're back. That's weird. Your image never disappeared. So what I was asking was the Facebook page name change of the Skateboard Mag to the Barracks.
Oh, yeah.
That you noticed?
What do you make of that?
Okay, so I saw someone tweet, actually. So, like, I saw Barra replied to it, so that's how I saw it. Was like, why did I get this notification? And Barra replied and said something along the lines of, we're not sure, and we're asking Facebook about why that happened.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so by the sounds of that, it wasn't on purpose, but I don't know how that would just happen. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, from the outside looking in, we saw the name of the Skateboard Mag change to the Barracks, okay? And we also saw Atiba leave for Thrasher.
Yes,
well,
Atiba.
I don't want to say too much for risk of saying for true that are just rumors that I've heard. So a lot of this is just based on tweets that I've seen. And it basically went along the lines that DC, which used to be a lot more involved with Street League and the game of Skate early on in the Barracks days, was like a big sponsor with it. And then as Nike came along and was like, hey, we can make more money off of this than DC can, the Barracks basically like gave it to Nike. So the Barracks eventually, the Barracks was, or DC, sorry. DC was like, we're going to pull out of the Barracks. We don't want to be as big of a partner with the Barracks as we used to be. So when they started to pull out, somebody at the Barracks said, all right, well, then you're not allowed to advertise in the Skateboard Mag anymore. Everybody at the Skateboard Mag was like, all right, then fuck this.
Wow.
Because the Barracks wanted to have that type of control over the mag for things that had nothing to do with the mag.
Huh. To an extent, but I mean, they're definitely super tied in. The Barracks obviously owns it, and it's all run in the same building.
But the people that were working for it were, I think, working under the assumption that they were going to be able to run the mag. And that was a step of the Barracks saying, all right, we decide who advertises with you.
Yeah.
And the beef was between DC and the Barracks, not between DC and the Skateboard Mag.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But I mean, along the lines of some of what you're saying, I've obviously heard the same stuff that obviously DC did have a huge part in the Barracks with partnership with Battle at the Barracks and their big logos over the park, which are now gone if you've seen videos recently.
Didn't they have like a DC room there or some shit like that? Like a DC lounge or some shit?
Yeah, there's a DC lounge. But that was all along the lines of like the deal that they had with them. Like it was just basically like DC logos were heavy in that place in the videos. Like the big DC logo next to the 3 block kind of, that rail that Zion did the crook transfer. Stuff like that. But yeah, I'd never heard any of that. That's interesting. And I mean, not to act like it's fact, because obviously you.
Well, I don't want to act like it's fact either, because obviously I just said a bunch of stuff that I just am assuming on. But you know, if that's true, that's some interesting stuff.
Yeah. So I guess time will tell how that all plays out. Obviously, there are big changes that for sure, because like we talked about last week, and like Mike just mentioned, Atiba no longer works for the Skateboard Mag, and he now works for Thrasher.
And Swift left Skateboard Mag a few months ago. He had, his thing in the issue, basically talking about he was moving on.
Okay.
It's pretty bare bones. I mean, I think there's Stuart Gomez writing text. They don't really have anybody else working there.
Yeah, I mean, Swift and Atiba are two dudes that have been there forever, for a long period of time.
Well, do you guys remember Skateboarder?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and It's Going Out is a lot different than the way the skateboard mag is just, it seems like it's being left to die. Like the page change name and stuff is just like happening. Skateboarder like died, like, all right, we're done. Everybody went off like respectfully, and people are leaving this like they don't want to be associated with it. They're like just like, you know, almost like, you know, glad to be rid of it.
Interesting. That's definitely that's a good point.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see how that stuff unfolds and announcements regarding that in the future. I'm not saying regarding they're going out of business, because again, I have no idea. But what they're up to, what happened with the Facebook change, and I mean, obviously, if Atiba's gone, I wouldn't be too surprised to see. I don't know if they're going to bring someone else in, or someone else that was lower on the list be more involved or more followed.
Well, I mean, and is his brother going to stay? Is Aiko going to stay now that Atiba's gone?
Yeah. Well, actually, the one more thing we haven't talked about, at least on my list, and then if you guys have anything you want to add or whatever, we can do that. Converse and Polar Skateboards collaborated for a collection of 3 shoes, the Jack Purcell Pro, which is a new model for cons to be made for skateboarding, as well as the video LA Days. Mike, I want to start off with you because I'm interested. What do you think? What do you think about the shoes? Just the shoes. They're what?
They're cool.
Okay.
I like them first, man. I think they're tight. Other than those fucking clown shoe Chuck Taylors, I'm good with all of them.
Other than the biggest, the most popular shoe they've ever had.
Those shits are ugly as fuck, dude.
I mean, I think it's funny that you're cool with the Jack Purcells. It's not that different from a Chuck Taylor.
Dude, what? It's different.
It's different. I'm not saying it's the same, but I think that a lot of people would be the opposite. A lot of people would probably prefer a Chuck Taylor over the Jack Purcell.
Yeah, a lot of people are. I mean, the low top Chuck Taylors look tight.
Oh, well, you just said Chuck Taylor. You didn't get a little more specific.
The clown shoe ugly ass ones that you like.
What does that mean? High tops?
Yeah, them ugly ones. Yeah.
I generally skate low tops, but yeah, I mean, I'm fine with high tops.
Just because that's what they send you, and you love Converse.
I haven't skated high tops in so long.
You're a liar. That was like 1 year ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like over a year. I prefer skating low tops. But I skate shorts a lot.
I think that less than 1 year would be considered so long ago.
In skating shoes, I mean, you go through a lot of shoes in a year, don't you?
I go through shoes, yeah.
Yeah, I probably go through like 5 or 6
So it's like it's a while ago because I've skated so many shoes since I've skated.
You know what kind of shoes I was skating 1 year ago?
What?
Stripes, bitch.
I know. That's not a surprise.
I don't want to try New Balance, man.
Which ones would you try?
I don't know. I'd have to really.
Scott, what kind of shoes do you skate?
See, I do this weird thing where I don't just skate like one pair of shoes. I get a pair of shoes and I kind of like cycle through. So, and in my head, it's because I feel like it's going to make when a shoe's in that sweet spot, like right before it rips.
Yeah.
And skating it, I feel like it keeps it in that spot. So yeah, I have like 6 pairs of skate shoes right now. I have like
I see what you're saying. Interesting.
I have America's. Yeah, but because of that, it takes me forever to throw my shoes away. Like they'll be to the point where I need to get rid of them, but like I just can't do it. Like my heart's just like, no, one more session will be good, and then it'll be months later, and they're falling apart.
That's funny, yeah. But Mike, how do you just skate one pair of shoes until they're done and then get rid of them and skate new shoes? I guess
I think that's what everybody does.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely.
I've never met anybody that doesn't like just have one pair of skate shoes. People even look at me and they're like, "How do you like to like learn tricks again?" Because like tricks feel different because the way the toe will be and stuff.
The shape, yeah, and the material.
And I'm like, get used to them.
Interesting.
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like I would have a hard time with that unless it was. I don't know. I get super used to like the shape and the material. Like I always mainly skate the low top Chuck Taylors. So I'm like super used to flicking off a rubber. And then if I skate like a different con shoe that's all suede, like I skated one's called the Breakpoint, which I really liked, like to fit my foot super well, but I couldn't, like I was super used to flicking off the rubber toe. I think it feels completely different flicking off of that.
Yeah.
But
I've
like,
never
what
done
are? Oh, you've never skated rubber toe shoes?
Yeah, I never had the Chucks. I've had like rubber toes back in the early 2000s when they were cool, like the Kenny Anderson Audio that had the toe cap and stuff.
Okay.
None of these new like full toe caps.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, did you guys watch the video for the collab, the LA days? I know you did, Scott, because you mentioned the footage.
No.
Mike, you didn't? Okay. Scott, what did you think of that? Do you like the Polar videos in general, like the whole Pontus style of filming? And
I mean, I did it when they first started coming out, but especially this one, it seemed like a parody of how they do these videos. It was like a demo. They're like, all right, we're going to get the team out to LA. Let's get like some jump ramps. And them like choreographing it almost like, all right, we need like a section with a good wall footage, to get that like cool LA vibe. And I mean, it's cool, and I'm hating on it, and I feel bad that I'm just like sitting here hating on it, but it just seems, I guess, as the original ones did, and it almost feels like a demo, like for a day, and got the whole team to do their tricks, do their stunts on their wheelie boards for a Converse paycheck. I mean, that's as cynical as it can be, but that video made me feel it.
Okay. Well, you mentioned the jump ramps and the little like street sign, like metal, whatever. What would you even call that? They always use to like create a bank to wall, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
I like it in general. Like I think probably Manhattan Days is like out of the series that they've had, I think the most enjoyable for me. But it was probably also because like one of the first ones I saw that they've made. But I think it is cool kind of how the vibe of like cruising around a city and almost changing a spot or making it their own for their edits, like with the jump ramps and the quarter pipe they skate in the parking lot and stuff like that. Just so it's something different and kind of gives like a mellow, like they're all just skating and having fun vibe, which I tend to enjoy personally in videos. I guess just because
that's the thing is that it feels that may not be real. That they got that vibe, and it captures that vibe perfectly, and you can relate to that as a skateboarder who has felt like that vibe of skating that way. But I have to imagine like what's really kind of going on behind the scenes, and they're like, all right, well, I got a con trip to LA, I got to get on a flight, we got to get out to LA so that we can meet up on this day to film a thing. It's not like they spontaneously met up in LA because they were there.
Yeah.
They planned to make this video for the collab, and how does that translate to just casually having fun on the street?
Yeah, interesting. I say interesting just because I didn't think of it that way, but I do see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cynical.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that all these shoe companies are like have this plot, and they're like stealing the fun from our.
But I mean, even if it's set up that, I mean, it's obviously they have to make videos, they have to organize the trip, and who's going to be when, where, whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, they are all skating for the same companies and go on tons of trips together.
And they probably had fun. I mean, it's not like
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they are probably out skating, enjoying themselves, but is it necessarily completely spontaneous? No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Did you see the Ishad tweet? And probably was 2 weeks ago now, but he said something that was like, choreographing is my least favorite thing about skateboarding.
Oh, really?
I'm thinking like choreographing, like who would be doing that? And so, now I watch these Nike edits and I think they're like, hey, go like follow him and look like you're having fun behind Corey Kennedy, looking all goofy with his hat. And to separate, what is genuine, just fun and my idols, having fun, and what's Nike or somebody being like, hey, we want to make it look like you're having fun.
Yeah. Interesting point. And I think it's definitely something in a way to keep in mind. Not that you want to not enjoy a video anymore because you don't think that they're just out skating. But, I mean, just to kind of think of the perspective that there's definitely more going on behind the scenes or into those videos that we don't necessarily see. Or majority of people definitely won't think about.
And the difference between that and something like JT Ulta's part or D'Lo's part, like a part, you know, this selection of tricks that somebody has chosen, where like, you know, you get Aaron Harrington in LA, you know, he's like, oh, maybe I got something on this.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Ashad doing switch over the bump to bar, it's sick, but there's something about a part that makes that feel throwaway to me, even though I enjoy it and love every second.
But you don't feel like, well, I see the throwaway thing. Like, they're probably not going to put in at least too many of like super gnarly clips for them because they'd rather save it for their own video part.
Well, I'm curious
don't you feel like
if there's much saving. I don't know if there's like much saving for their video part going on. I think this is the end product for a lot of these guys. I think
definitely for like that Polar Cons thing, they went there to film that commercial for that collaboration. But I don't know. I think it definitely probably depends on the trip and what they're working on. So I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted. Like, I'm thinking about what you're saying because I think I definitely agree to a point. They're like, Nike went to Argentina and maybe that's all the footage they got. But those dudes are definitely getting footage other places that they are saving. So I don't know. That's interesting.
This is something I struggle with every day myself.
Well, that's everything we have written down on our topic list. So, Mike, do you have anything you want to add or talk about?
No.
You're done?
Yeah.
Scott, any other topics or anything?
I just want to plug my zine.
Yeah, go for it.
I just put out issue 4, and you can read the entire zine on my website. That is Eat the Bologna, which is Eat the BOLOGNA, and that is at wordpress.com, and you can read the whole thing. There's also a bunch of skating up there that just love like all my friends and everybody. So yeah, check it out.
Sick.
That sounds sick. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah.
Get there. And yeah, I'm gonna make Grant put the link to it in the bio for this video.
I will do that. Thank you for coming on, Scott. I appreciate it, and I think that was fun. I mean, you definitely had sick input, and I enjoyed talking about skating.
That was fun.
All right. We'll be back next week with episode 113. Hit us up if there's anything we forgot to talk about or you want to see us talk about next week. Later.